Hello, digital pioneers. Welcome back to another episode of Tech Time with Thomas. I'm your host, Thomas the Tech Guy, and today we are diving into a transformative shift in the world of software development, the move from monolithic architecture to microservices. Now, if you are a CTO or a tech leader, you have likely heard the buzz around microservices. But what does it really mean for your organization? How can it redefine the way you build, deploy, and scale software? And more importantly, why should you even care? Well, in our fast-paced digital age, businesses need to be agile, adaptable, and ready to scale at a moment's notice. Traditional monolithic architectures, where everything is bundled together, can be cumbersome and slow to adapt to changing needs. Microservices come into play as a solution, offering a design approach where applications are structured as a collection of small, autonomous services. This not only makes software development more agile, but also ensures that applications are scalable, resilient, and easier to manage. For our tech leaders and CTOs tuning in, understanding microservices is crucial. It's not just a tech buzzword, it's a strategic approach that can redefine how your organization develops and deploys software. So, whether you're already on the microservices journey or just starting to consider it, today's episode promises to offer valuable insights. Let's get started. All right, let's break it down a bit. When we talk about microservices, what are we really getting at? At its core, microservices is all about breaking things down. Instead of having one big application where everything is intertwined, you have these smaller independent modules. Each one does its own thing, and they all work together to make the application run smoothly. Assume building an application is like constructing a shopping mall. In the traditional monolithic approach, it's like having one massive store that sells everything. If you want to renovate or expand a section, the entire store might need to close or be disrupted because it's all interconnected. Now, think of microservices as a modern shopping mall with multiple individual stores. Each store specializes in something different: shoes, electronics, clothing, and so on. If one store needs renovation or wants to expand, it can do so without affecting the others. Each store operates independently, yet they all coexist in the same mall, serving the overall purpose. So what makes microservices stand out? Actually, a few things. They are independent. Each service does its own thing and doesn't rely too heavily on the others. There's a lot of freedom. No central rulebook. Each service can be built how it's needed. They are flexible. Different parts can be built using different tools or even languages. They scale easily. If one part gets a lot of traffic, you can beef it up without affecting the others. And they are tough. One service having a bad day doesn't mean the whole app goes down. And now you might be thinking, why is everyone talking about microservices? Well, it's because they fit today's fast-paced world. They let developers move quickly, make updates without a hitch, and adapt to whatever the business needs. So if you're looking for a way to build software that's flexible, scalable, and resilient, microservices might just be the answer. It's all about having these small, focused pieces that come together to build something bigger. Now that we have got a grasp on what microservices are and how they differ from the traditional monolithic approach, let's delve into why so many organizations are making the shift. What's the big appeal? First and foremost, scalability. With microservices, you can scale individual components of your application independently. Imagine one part of your app experiences a sudden surge in traffic. Instead of scaling the entire application, you can just scale that specific service. It's like if one store in our shopping mall analogy becomes super popular, you can expand just that store without having to rebuild the entire mall. Microservices allow for faster development and deployment. Teams can work on different services simultaneously, leading to quicker releases. It's akin to having different construction crews working on separate stores in our mall all at the same time. They don't have to wait for each other to finish. Remember our shopping mall? If one store has an issue, the others remain unaffected. Similarly, if one microservice fails, it doesn't bring down the entire application. This isolation ensures higher availability and a better user experience. Another key advantage that microservices offer is technical flexibility. Think about it. Each service can be built using the technology that suits it best. Whether it's a specific programming language or a storage system, you're not boxed into one choice. It's like customizing each store in our mall with its unique design and layout. Now let's touch on maintenance and upgrades. We all know software updates can be a bit tricky, but here's the beauty of microservices. Since each service is its own entity, updating one doesn't mean overhauling the entire system. It streamlines the process, reduces risks, and allows for more frequent and smoother updates. Last but not least, cost efficiency. With the ability to scale individual services, you are only using resources where they are genuinely needed. No more over-provisioning or paying for unused capacity. These benefits paint a compelling picture of why microservices are becoming the go-to architecture for many organizations. But as with any approach, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. In our next segment, we will discuss some challenges and considerations to keep in mind. Now, while microservices come with a host of benefits, they are not without their challenges. Like any architectural approach, there are certain hurdles to consider. Let's dive into some of those common obstacles organizations face when adopting microservices. First up, complexity. Transitioning from a monolithic to a microservices architecture can be complex, especially if you're dealing with legacy systems. You're not just splitting up applications, you are rethinking the entire development and deployment process. Speaking of complexity, it often leads to another challenge, especially when it comes to managing data. With multiple services running independently, ensuring data consistency across all these services can be tricky. Unlike monolithic systems where you might have a single database, with microservices, you could have multiple databases. This means you need strategies to handle data synchronization and consistency. Each microservice communicates with others over a network, which can introduce latency and potential points of failure. It's crucial to have robust communication protocols and error handling mechanisms in place. Now, while we are on the topic of communication, let's discuss the potential for increased resource utilization. Each microservice might require its own runtime environment, which can lead to increased memory and CPU usage. It's essential to monitor and optimize resource utilization to ensure efficiency. And of course, with the multiple services running, there is the challenge of managing all of them. Deploying, scaling, monitoring, and managing multiple services can be a daunting task. This is where tools like Kubernetes come into play, helping manage containerized microservices. Lastly, let's touch on a challenge that's often overlooked but is crucial for long-term success. Adopting microservices isn't just a technical shift, it's a cultural one. Teams need to adapt to new workflows, tools, and collaboration methods, so ensuring everyone is on board and trained is key. So while microservices offer numerous advantages, it's essential to be aware of these challenges and plan for them. Being forewarned is being forearmed, right? Now, for our tech leaders and CTOs tuning in, you might be wondering, why is there so much emphasis on microservices? Why should it be on my radar? Let's dive into the strategic importance of microservices in today's digital landscape. First and foremost, the digital landscape is evolving rapidly. Businesses are aiming for agility, adaptability, and the ability to innovate quickly. Microservices align perfectly with these goals. By breaking down applications into smaller services, organizations can adapt faster to market changes, roll out new features swiftly, and stay ahead of the competition. Many organizations are undergoing digital transformation, and microservices play a pivotal role in this journey. By adopting a microservices architecture, businesses can ensure that their software infrastructure is future-proof, scalable, and ready to integrate with the emerging technologies. Let's talk about competition. In the tech world, the early bird often gets the worm. Being able to quickly develop, test, and deploy new features can give businesses significant edge over competitors. Microservices enable faster time to market, allowing companies to respond to customer needs and market trends more promptly. But it's not just about speed and competition. There is also the human element to consider. From a team dynamics perspective, microservices can be a game changer. Smaller cross-functional teams can work on individual services, leading to better focus, faster deployment cycles, and fewer bottlenecks. It's about optimizing productivity and fostering a culture of continuous improvement. And while we are optimizing and improving, there is one more crucial point to touch on. And let's not forget about risk. In a monolithic setup, a single failure can bring down the entire application. But with microservices, the impact of failure is isolated, ensuring high availability and resilience. For CTOs, this means peace of mind, knowing that customer experience won't be hampered by unforeseen issues. In a sense, for tech leaders, microservices isn't just a technical decision, it's a strategic one. It's about positioning your organization for success in the digital age, ensuring agility, resilience, and competitive edge. As the tech landscape continues to evolve, understanding and leveraging microservices will be key to staying ahead. All right, let's shift gears a bit. We have talked about the what and the why of microservices. Now let's dive into the how. And when we talk about implementing microservices, it's hard not to mention DevOps. These two go together like peanut butter and jelly. For those who might be new to the term, DevOps is a set of practices that combines software development, Dev, with IT operations, Ops. It aims to shorten the system development lifecycle and provide continuous delivery with high-quality software. In simpler terms, it's about breaking down silos, improving collaboration, and delivering software faster and more reliably. Let's talk about scaling for a moment. You know how in DevOps, especially when you are using cloud platforms, we can automate how we scale. Well, microservices fit right into that picture. Each microservice can scale on its own. So if one part of your application is getting a lot of traffic, you can just scale that part up. It's like turning up the volume on one instrument in an orchestra without making the whole symphony louder. Now, as we're adjusting and fine-tuning, monitoring becomes crucial. Imagine being able to keep an eye on each part of your application separately. That's what microservices allow. You get detailed insights into how each service is performing. And you know how in DevOps, we're all about getting feedback quickly, right? This setup ensures we spot and fix any hiccups in real time. It's like having a health checkup for each part of your application, ensuring everything is running smoothly. Another cornerstone of DevOps is continuous integration and continuous deployment, often shortened to CI/CD. This is all about automating the process of integrating code changes and deploying them to production. With microservices, you can deploy, update, or even roll back individual services without affecting the entire application. It's like updating one app on your phone without needing to update all the others. And let's not forget the human element. DevOps is as much about people and culture as it is about tools. By fostering a culture of collaboration and open communication, teams can work together more effectively. Microservices support this by allowing cross-functional teams to work on different services and promoting ownership and accountability. In a sense, when you pair microservices with DevOps, you are setting your organization up for success. You get faster deployments, better scalability, and enhanced collaboration. It's a win-win. All right, let's dive into the practical side of things. How are microservices being used in the real world to address specific challenges and needs? Let's explore some architectural use cases. E-commerce platforms deal with a myriad of operations from product listing, user accounts, payment processing, to inventory management. Microservices allow these platforms to independently scale and update specific functionalities. For instance, during a big sale, the payment and product listing services might experience higher traffic. With microservices, these can be scaled up independently without affecting other parts of the platform. From shopping online to watching our favorite shows, streaming platforms like Netflix need to deliver content to millions of users simultaneously, adapt to their different devices, and handle user preferences and recommendations. Netflix, as a well-documented case, transitioned to microservices to ensure that each of these functions could evolve and scale independently. This shift was pivotal in supporting their global user base and diverse content library. Now think about the app that connects us daily. Social media platforms have multiple functionalities, from the feed, messaging, notifications, to art delivery. Microservices allow these platforms to test new features in isolation, roll them out progressively, and ensure that a surge in one functionality doesn't impact the entire platform. Okay, and for those who have embraced the digital banking revolution, digital banking platforms need to be secure, reliable, and fast. Microservices enable these platforms to isolate critical operations like fund transfers from other functionalities. This ensures that core banking operations remain unaffected even if there is an issue with a less critical service. These use cases underscore the adaptability and resilience that microservices bring to the table. From handling surges in traffic, rolling out features, to isolating critical operations, microservices are at the heart of modern digital solutions. Now, diving a bit deeper, beyond these specific industries, there are some overarching benefits of microservices that resonate with almost any organization. Let's delve into those. So we have all got some old tech lying around, right? Those legacy systems that are packed with the crucial data and business logic. The challenge here? How to bring them into the modern age without tearing everything down? Well, that's where microservices come in handy. They can work alongside those older systems, helping businesses modernize step by step. It's like giving your old tech a new lease on life. Now, here's a thought. We live in a world without borders, at least digitally. Businesses today cater to a global audience. So, how do we ensure everyone everywhere gets a top notch experience? Microservices to the rescue. Deploy them in data centers across the globe, and voila, users get a seamless experience no matter where they are. Remember the last time you got movie recommendations or product suggestions? That's personalization in action. But crunching all that data in real time, that's some heavy duty work. Microservices are up to the task. They sift through heaps of data in a jiffy, delivering those personalized touches we have all come to expect. Okay, a show of hands. Who has had an app crash on them? Well, we have all been there, right? But here's the cool part about microservices. If one part hits a snag, the rest keep chugging along. It's all about bouncing back quickly. It's a win-win. Users get a smooth experience and businesses don't have to sweat about one glitch taking down the whole system. So there you have it. Microservices offer a ton of perks, but they're not a one-size-fits-all solution. It's all about figuring out if they align with what your business needs. But when they do align, they can be a real game changer. Well, digital pioneers, as we near the end of this enlightening journey through the world of microservices, let's take a moment to reflect on what we have uncovered. We began by demystifying the concept of microservices, understanding its essence as a modular approach to software development. We contrasted it with a traditional monolithic architecture, highlighting the flexibility and scalability that microservices bring to the table. We also delved into why microservices are not just a tech trend but a strategic imperative for CTOs and tech leaders. In a rapidly evolving digital landscape, microservices offer agility, resilience, and a competitive edge. They align with modern business goals, facilitate digital transformation, and provide a foundation for future growth. But like any transformative approach, microservices come with their set of challenges. We discussed the importance of understanding these challenges and navigating them effectively. And let's not forget the beautiful synergy between microservices and DevOps, a pairing that amplifies the benefit of both. The real-world examples and architectural use cases we explored further underscore the impact and relevance of microservices in today's tech ecosystem. Whether you are a seasoned tech leader or just starting your journey, understanding and leveraging microservices is crucial. I hope this episode has provided you with valuable insights and a clearer perspective on microservices. As always, it's about staying informed, making strategic decisions, and driving innovation. Thank you for joining me on this exploration. Stay curious, stay innovative, and until next time, keep pioneering the digital frontier.